Hola, and welcome to a cup-tastic paper review this week, halfway as we are through the Clásico Super Series, in which Real Madrid and Barcelona have lots of big matches all at once, a bit like a Mooney wedding planner. 2 games already played, 210 minutes of Clásico action. It would be easy just to look at the headlines and ignore the real tactical lessons so far. So that's what we'll do. First off, Saturday's league clash. With 10, you play better than with 11. This is AS after a 10-man Madrid side held Barcelona to a 1-1 draw at the Bernabeu. A great picture there of Pepe looking like a man who just spotted 2 tickets to the Football Weekly Live lying around. The same story in Marca. With 10, you play better. I have to say, though, the 1-1 draw was well received in Barcelona too. Sport, we've won the league. Yep, the draw effectively handing the title to Barcelona, who remain 8 points clear. Now let's go for the cup, they said on Sunday. El Mundo, meantime, ahead of the Copa del Rey clash, highlighting dissent in the Real Madrid camp, with words here from Alfredo Di Stefano, Real Madrid's greatest player ever, and yes, David, that does include you, who was appalled by their performance in Saturday's game against Barcelona. Barcelona were like lions, he says. Madrid, more like a mouse. Controversial stuff. Wednesday, though, that mouse roared, beating Barcelona to lift the Copa del Rey, the King's Cup, Madrid's first trophy in 3 years. Madrid press first. Mourinho does it, says AS Campeones. Marca, same headline. Great shot here of Iker Casillas lifting the trophy, displaying a nice, safe pair of hands. Unlike Sergio Ramos, who later that night showed the touch of a Norwegian ship steward, dropping the freshly won silverware under the wheels of Real's open-top parade bus, which brilliantly drove on regardless. While Ramos threw away the cup, and Arsenal fans will know how that feels, the reaction in Catalonia, not as despondent as you might think. Let's see. Here's Gerard Piqué being consoled by his girlfriend Shakira. He's distraught. She's feeling Piqué. The paper reminds us, you may get the cup, but we get the league. And now on to the champions. And same story here in El Mundo Deportivo, their neighbours. Now on for the champions, although there is a bit of concern here about how the once all-conquering Messi and co are now beginning to look a little bit run down, much like the cup itself, of course. Well, that next Barcelona-Real Madrid clash is coming up in the Champions League next Wednesday. Meantime, though, such has been the fuss over the Clásicos that the week's other big Spanish news, the takeover at Getafe, couldn't have passed more unobserved if it had been on ITV Daybreak. Story anyway is that Madrid's heavily indebted third team, Getafe, have been bought by investors from the Emirates, who've announced plans, controversially, to change its name to Team Dubai Getafe. Team Dubai Getafe. Just as well they're not called Colonel, eh? Anyway, outrage from the fans will surely come, but for now, reaction has been limited to a fairly small opinion piece in AS, who ask, how can this be good for the club or for the Spanish game in general? Good question. Well, on for now from Getafe's regime change, and let's finish off with 1 or 2 Italian headlines. This weekend sees Inter and Lazio face off. They're 3rd and 4th place right now in Serie A, but they're also, as the Gazzetta dello Sport pointed out on Thursday, the 2 teams involved almost exactly a year ago in one of Serie A's most ridiculous episodes in a very long time, in which Lazio's fans publicly urged their team not to win against Inter, threatening indeed to beat them up if they did, so that Inter could pip Lazio's neighbours Roma to the title. Move out the way for them, as one banner said at the Stadio Olimpico ahead of that game a year ago. And when Inter did finally score, a large sheet was unveiled by the Lazio fans saying, "Oh no." Well, 12 months on from that, fan intervention, ironic or not, continues to be a major story in Italy, as has been underlined indeed this week by events at Sampdoria. Title winners in the glory years of Vialli and Mancini, Samp came within a penalty kick of becoming European champions back in 1992. Now, they've had more downs than ups since then, but one thing has remained constant: their fans' reputation for being among the happiest, most glass-half-full supporters you could ever hope to meet. No longer, though. For last Sunday, after a 3-0 defeat that dropped Samp into the bottom 3 in Serie A, their team bus was ambushed by hooded tifosi on its way back into Genoa, who smashed windows and climbed on board to threaten the players with death if they get relegated. A message underlined this week at the training ground, where the words "stay up or we'll eat your hearts" was daubed on the front porch. Well, the Genoese club, not surprisingly, have fled town this week to Rome to prepare for Saturday's game with bottom-of-the-table Bari. Shame they're not playing Chievo. They could probably get a point against them. Anyway, grim stuff that, but on that note, we'll leave the papers for another week. We'll be back in 7 days. Hope to see you then. In the meantime, have a happy Easter.